As we light our chalice to open our reflection today, we will hear words by Mary Oliver. What I want in my life is to be willing to be dazzled, to cast aside the weight of facts. I want to believe I am looking into the fire of a great mystery. I want to believe that the imperfections are nothing, that the light is everything, that it is more than the sum of each flawed blossom rising and fading. And I do. Welcome. Welcome to this meeting house, this virtual space today. This is our 13th Midweek Reflection from the closed meeting house here in Sevenoaks. It's a week that we're starting to see change. A week where lockdown really starts to feel like it is being lifted as the non-essential shops open and other parts too. We're in a time of transition, a time of change. And that can be hard. And as we think about the change outside, we think about the change within too. Who are we? Where have we been? Where are we headed to? But who are we right now? I welcome you to this reflection, whether your first time here, your 13th time here, or some point in between. I welcome you here today. Our reading today is from the 19th century philanthropist, artist, thinker, John Ruskin. Nothing that lives is or can be rigidly perfect. Part of it is decaying, part nascent. The foxglove blossom, a third part bud, a third part past, a third part in full bloom, is a type of the life of this world. And in all things that live, there are certain irregularities and deficiencies, which are not only signs of life, but sources of beauty. All admit irregularity as they imply change. And to banish imperfection is to destroy expression, to check exertion, to paralyze vitality. The words of John Ruskin. As I mentioned earlier, this is our 13th midweek reflection since the COVID-19 lockdown began. The first of this series was given on the Wednesday after lockdown started, so over 90 days ago, 3 months and a bit. Now we're starting to see the gradual lifting of that lockdown for many, not for all, and the opening of non-essential shops this week has brought the crowds out into the summer sun. With shops doing their best to stimulate trade, but working hard to ensure safety and manage precautions in store, we're moving to a very new normal that will be in place for some time yet. I feel conflicted about this. I miss the life we all shared until mid-March. I miss stopping at a cafe with friends. I miss meeting people to chat. I do miss being able to pop to the shop quickly to pick up 1 or 2 items. I miss being with my 3 congregations on Sundays. I miss the connection. However, I do know that this situation will be with us for a good few months yet. And I also know I need to ensure I'm using my time wisely and sensibly as I look at doing things differently. Our reading earlier spoke of the 3 stages of the Foxglove, that piece by John Ruskin. The Foxglove spends a third in bud, a third now past, and a third in bloom. And this 3-stage approach sums our situation quite well. The former bloom of our social and community life, in the way it was, has now dimmed. It is no longer in bloom. It is past. We have a current way we live. We're in bloom right now, a different bloom to the previous, but just as precious, just as important. For those that heard our reflection last Wednesday, you may recall Emerson's reference to the roses outside his window, the roses that are always perfect in time, perfect where they are. They're exactly what they are and no less perfect because of their past or because of their future. And then turning back to John Ruskin's piece, he talks of the buds, the parts to come. We do not know how they will be. All we know for certain is that they will come. There is an inevitability to the Foxglove's transition. Life changes. We leave old ways behind. We learn new ways. We work toward something better. Now, I had great plans at the start of lockdown. I believed all the nonsense about having enough time to read all those unread books, to learn Norwegian, to write my great novel. A chance to create a new me, perfect in every way. Of course, it didn't happen. The promise of more spare time was a fib, and the idea that we would not be replacing essential activities with equally essential activities was nonsense. Yet more than that, the idea that another could tell me exactly what I might need to do was nonsense too. Pointers, yes. Gentle nudging of my own awareness, most definitely. Yet ultimately, it's only you and me. It is only each of us individually that can know where we truly are right now. Our lives are spent moving through these 3 stages of time, and it's through deeper understanding of our inner selves that we might start to discern what parts of our inner selves we might allow to fade, and how we might hope the buds to form and bring forth new, as yet unseen, blooms. Lockdown has so far allowed me to see a little more of my true self, for good and for not so good. I know a little more about the parts of my life and conscience that have moved on, the faded flowers of the past me. And I know a little more too about the current me, the bloom that I am right now. And it's this current bloom that both Emerson and Ruskin refer to as the real being, the moment that we are, just being. Yet we know we are always changing, adapting, improving, hopefully making ourselves whole with the world around us. How do we want our future blooms to look? And what must we discard to get there? What is our new normal? Only by looking at ourselves now, the beautiful blooms we already are, will we ever know. We come together now in a time of stillness, as we settle our bodies, perhaps closing our eyes, and focusing on our breath. I shall speak some words. I shall strike the singing bowl. There will be stillness and quiet together. The stillness will be broken with music to continue our reflections. As we settle our bodies, becoming aware of our surroundings, feeling our connection to the place we sit and our connection to the wider world. We are each a beautiful bloom, progressing through life and forever changing. As we bring ourselves to quiet at this time, we might perhaps reflect on who we were, who we are, and who we might hope to become as we settle our bodies. Even as we extinguish this flame, I want to believe that the imperfections are nothing, that the light is everything, that it is more than the sum of each flawed blossom rising and fading. And I do.